Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to a layout share and a blurry layout process if you want to stick around. This is for a punched out Thursday to die for, so I did use my punches and my dies and even made punch art. I used for my layout photoplay, we bought a zoo, and since this picture is of my granddaughters, and she's roaring and clawing, and they are at a zoo. And so I made a lion, and my title is Hear Me Roar. And the lion's punch art, and for the head I used this owl Build-A-Punch, and I just used the body for the head. I used these two smaller ones for the ears and these two tiny ones for the eyes, and I cut off the ears and the feet from the head. And then I used this smaller one for the nose. Well, I cut out two, a light one and a dark one for the nose, and this one for the belly. And then for the mane, I used Sizzix Flower Daisies #2 that Ella Connor gave to me, and it is an awesome die set. It has 3 daisies. I used the largest one plus one of the medium ones and put 4 layers on here and used, well, 4 different colors. This one was already cut out and like a leftover from another layout, so I used it on here. It's really the only thing that color cardstock, but I used it anyway. And then for the tail, I used this little flower from right here and did 3 layers, since I had no clue where that other piece of cardstock was at, or if I had any left. I just did the 3. And I freehanded the tail. For the legs here, the hind legs, I used 2 of the 1-inch oval. And then for the feet, I used the 5/8 inch circle, and they're cut in half, and the ones in the background for the hind feet are the same. And for the leaves here, I used Diamond Press Tropical Foliage, and also well, where did I put it? Well, I don't know where I laid it. I also used the Pink Fresh Leafy Branch in several places here. And this is a Tim Holtz punch, and it's a branch. And then for the title, I used these right here. They're spellbinders, and I think they're Simply Perfect Alphabet. That's what they're called. It's right there in front of me. I was going to guess something not even close. And I used the Memory Box Mini Vintage Varsity for my subtitle, Where the Wild Things Are. And that's about it. I used a couple of stickers, 1, 2, 3, to add blue, since Charlie's cap is blue. And I thought I'd add a little bit of blue into the layout. But oh, and I also used this leaf punch underneath these flowers. And these are tropical flowers from Diamond Press in that set. And I used a gel pen to highlight my lion. But if you'd like to stick around for a blurry layout, yes, again, a blurry layout. It's a good thing I'm not a professional. I'd had to throw the can in the trash. I think that's what they called it. Or something about a can. I am not sure. But it would not have made it on a YouTube video. It would have been trashed. But here's my layout, and if you want to stick around for the process, I did edit it because there are a few that says they go ahead and watch it. And since there are a few, I will go ahead and have it on at the end. And there are photos at the end that are close up, including I took a picture of the paper that was the inspiration for this lion. And yeah, it'll be at the end. No, It'll be in the middle of the blurry video. That's where it's at. But stick around, and I appreciate it if you do. On with the process. And if you stuck around, a bonus thank you to all of you. I have got this little owl punch there, and I am showing it. It's an old Stampin' Up! One. And I'm cutting the ears off and the feet off because all I need is the head part. And I forgot to show the die for the body, and it is the belly of, it's a reindeer one. And that's my 1-inch oval for the legs. Oh, and I am inking all this. I didn't mention that earlier. I'm inking it in tea dye ink. And I'm not going to use any foam tape to separate the pieces. Sometimes I have, but I'm not going to do that today because that mane is kind of thick and kind of on the wild side by the time I get done with it. But that is what I was going for. Just so y'all know, let's see, what am I doing here? Oh, I'm doing the nose. I would have probably done this nose different if I wasn't using the inspiration piece. And the thing is, I did not look at that. I did not even think about it till I was editing the video. And I went and took a picture of it so that I could add it at the end here when I get done with my lion. I've added the 2 eyes. I did them in the darkest brown that I used because I wanted them to show up pretty good because they are kind of on the small side, but the inspiration piece has them small too. I almost forget his ears. You would have thought I would think of it while I was doing the eyes because, they're right there, but I don't. I added the 2 ovals. I thought about having 4 legs and decided I would just have 4 feet. However, I'm going to forget 2 of them until the end of the video. I think I am pretty much done with the layout when I remember them. Well, I said the end of the video, the end of the layout. And I will add them after I add the sprinkles. And I had to do it very gingerly because, everything was still wet. I am layering, these are the largest daisy, and I am going to layer the 3 big ones. I put the darkest one on the back, and then I put the lighter color because I found that other smaller one, and I'm going to put it to go around the face. So it'll be, a little bit smaller and add a little more kind of texture to this. I am not going to cut any of that. You will see in the inspiration piece that they have straight ends on theirs and then some wild little black lines. If I had pulled that out sooner, I was going to add some of that long black eyelash trim that I have. I was going to add some of that, but I forgot all about it until I ran back in there and took the photo of the paper for y'all. But yeah, it would have been a good idea if I just remembered to do it. Let's see, what am I adding? Oh, I took the 3 little flowers and I glued them together and then I scrunched it up. I did put one of the darker ones on top because my memory, whether it's accurate or not, the tail is usually darker. So I went ahead and put it. Oh, and there's my lion, and I guess I'm done with it. I didn't even realize I was done that quick. I really like this plaid paper, so I did gut it. And I am just going to put that diagonal stripe on top of it. I cut this for the trim, and I did think about just using 2 little pieces, but then I thought I'll have to line them up. It's easier just to use the whole thing. And I do have white as the background on the right hand side. I did plan on leaving it white. I thought about using a stencil while using my leftovers from my die cutting as a stencil. Changed my mind, decided to leave it as white. I will put white flowers on here. Then I'll decide I want to ink it. So yeah, it's going to go through a few different choices before I finish my layout at the end. These are the flowers from the tropical dies from Diamond Press. and I stamped them first with one of my mixed media stamps that has swirls because I didn't want them just plain cardstock. And I inked them in, I think it's Velvet Rose. Uh, it's a Spellbinders ink. And I inked all of them in that. And then I added yellow cardstock to the back for the stamen looking little holes there on the flower. These are the diamond, no, they're not the diamond press dies because they are the Pink Fresh. And you can see the die up there in the right hand corner. And I used 3 at full length, but all the rest are going to be where I cut those same 3, same branch, not 3 branches, same branch into smaller pieces. I had to make sure I had my green paper over far enough to have room for my Hear Me Roar because that's where I wanted it. And I knew that if I put the branch on there, I'd have to leave enough room to put it there. Now, I do believe there was a sticker that said where the wild things are, but it wasn't as big as I would like. At least I think that's what it said. It was close if it wasn't that. So I cut a piece of from scrap wood grain paper, just a strip across there, and I inked it really good and made the edges kind of on the rough side. And I am using my mini varsity letters to go there, and it is going to say where the wild things are. I put foam tape under it because I plan on tucking my lion and my photo down in there, plus some flowers and greenery. I first thought about putting my lion down there in the bottom right hand corner, and I'm still thinking about it when I'm putting that greenery there. But then I decided to put a couple of flowers instead and just go ahead and leave him up there because I couldn't think of what else I was going to put up there. I had probably, if I looked in the container, some ephemera that might have worked, but I decided to just go ahead and go with the lion and have him sitting right next to Hope as she is imitating one. I really think I put 2 flowers down there before I remember that I wanted to use the sticker Zoo Crew, not because they're part of the Zoo Crew, but because of the blue. And I'm going to have blue down in that corner, and then I have a little piece of ephemera that I have no clue where it came from that is sitting on my desk in a little bowl, and it's got a heart on it. And then I knew that there was a tab that says Fun Day over there on the sticker sheet. And so I would have blue in 3 spots. And yeah, the Zoo Crew just nestles down in there just about perfectly. I liked where it went. And I don't think I mentioned that I ruffled up the mane a little bit to kind of match the tail and to give it more dimension. And like I said, the little inspiration piece has them cut off straight, and I did consider that. But after I found that extra little flower that was just a smaller version, I think it was the middle one. I went ahead and used it instead to give it a little different links on that. I wanted to put some greenery up at the top. I considered using the sticker for the sloth's head, but I thought I'd really have to cover up a big area with the flowers and greenery to camouflage nobody or make a body. So I decided to just skip the sloth. I figured I could just make him from scratch if I decided to make him anyway. That way he wouldn't have a shiny head and a matte body because of the cardstock. I was looking at this and everything looked right hand side heavy. So I thought I have to add some stuff over to the left. I looked on the sticker sheet and that tab that I was planning on using was really about the only thing I wanted to go ahead and pull off of there. So I decided I had to add a little more greenery and flowers to the left. I will in a minute be pulling out my Prima Got Milk flowers, And I'm going to pull out the little white ones, and then I'm going to add a yellow center to them and scatter them around the layout. And other than the splatters, I think I'll be done. Well, I will add the hind feet to my lion off screen while the splatters are trying to dry, and I am being very, very careful not to smear them. But I considered using the green, then I considered using the orange flowers. And the orange was just a tiny bit too orange to go with my peach colored flowers. So I went with the white. And when I went with it, I was still planning on just leaving the right hand side white. But, you know, things change when you're looking at a layout and thinking, what else does it need? Or, I don't have it completely full. What else can I do? But in this case, I'm going to add some color. But I did add the lightest color I think that I have in the green, and it's bundled sage. I'm using cash money to sprinkle on my layout. And um, I do something. Oh, I add the white highlights. If you notice, my lion still does not have them. But I did wait until it was completely dry because I had a hard time adding those hind feet. And I was using tweezers. And I thought, I'm going to go ahead and wait until the splatter's dry to go ahead and do the highlights. But that's it. That's my blurry layout. And I appreciate all of you that took the time to stay and those that didn't too. But if you look down there below, you'll see the links to everybody that are doing the Punched Out Thursday to Die For, including there might be links to somebody that's on vacation. I just thought I'd leave them there and have them all there because they probably do have some videos that they want to share. And if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But there's my little lion and his little wild mane and my little granddaughter over to the left roaring, and so that made the title Hear Me Roar. And then uh, the tropical flowers and the pink fresh leafy branch you can see in the background. And there's a close-up of his face. I was trying to get the flowers and Hear Me Roar and all that together along with the lion's face. So yeah, but I hope you all have a happy scrappy week. And I hope y'all have time to pull out your punches and or dice and create a layout. Bye.